Today I'll be taking you on another tour through the garden. I've also done this in May of this year and I wanted to give you guys an update on how things are going. Spoiler, it's not all good. Hey, my name is Jair and welcome to the tour. A disclaimer first, it's a mess. I have not been very tidy on weeding. It has been raining a lot these last few weeks and so weeds have been growing vigorously through the garden. With that out of the way, let's go over to the corner trellis first, where we have the Hokkaido pumpkin plants and they are dead. Because of the damp weather, powdery mildew has struck them a month earlier than I expected. Nonetheless, we have 5 small pumpkins, so I'll take what I can get. In the other corner we have the butternut squash, and although it has been growing profoundly, I have not seen many pumpkins yet, so we'll have to wait till the end of the season what the harvest will be. In the garden update of May, in this spot there was nothing, but as you can see right now, the amaranth has grown beautifully, and I'm so glad with this one, even if it's just for its decorative purposes. Now at the end of the season I should be able to harvest the seeds of the amaranth, which apparently is comparable to quinoa, so that you can use it in like your flour or in your yogurt, so I'm actually looking forward to that. Now, as beautiful as the amaranth looks, these are the tomatoes, and as you might have guessed, blight hit them very, very hard. I already cut away like 95% of all the foliage, but yeah, today I really need to harvest what I can and salvage and save what I can, but I'm afraid there won't be a lot left to eat. The potato prison has failed to keep the vole out, and especially in the beginning it nibbled on the roots of the plant. Nevertheless, it's growing very vigorously, so I have my hopes up. One of the vines actually dipped its toe in the water on top of the Oya and it's sprouting a new root, so that's what you're looking at right now. And on the other side, it has been growing some flowers, and I, for one, did not know that they could do that. So yeah, it's a nice little surprise. So moving on in between the potato prison and the once tomato bed, and over here we have the cucumber tower, and well, the plan is it's really receding. There's not much growth anymore. There are still a few cucumbers to be harvested, but not too many, like I think 2 or 3. It has been taken over by weeds. Big surprise, the entire garden has, but yeah, it's been a fun little experiment over here, and I might do the same thing next year. On the other side, in the middle of the garden, we have, if you can still see them, 3 pumpkin plants and a lot of weeds. I've counted about 7 pumpkins that I can harvest from these 3 plants, so not too big of a harvest, but still, well, pretty decent. Moving on to the 3 grow beds that I've created in my 3rd episode. The first bed right here in front of me has the courgette plants, which have been very productive. I think we harvested about 30 to 35 courgettes from these 4 plants, so very happy about that. And then over here we have the purple sprouting broccoli that finally started to actually sprout, and the first harvest is in. So hopefully we can enjoy them a bit longer. There are still some lost carrots in there, but I have no idea if I can still find them and harvest them. Second bed, which has more purple sprouting broccoli, but also the chard in there. Now, truth be told, we weren't the biggest fan of chard, so I kind of ignored it and let it go, but I suppose I can still try to ferment them. There are still some onions and garlic in there. I actually harvested a few onions for my fermentation projects, but yeah, I think they'll have to stay in the ground a little bit longer. And the third bed has been the disaster bed of the year. It has been attacked by the vole multiple times, and it now has the tomatoes in it that have been struck by blight, so not much harvest out of this one. Now the literal centerpiece of the garden has been this little flower garden over here with the cosmos and the sunflowers and the borage that have been attracting bees all over the place. So it has been a big joy to watch it fulfill its purpose. Now concerning the corn, I wanted to show you guys two things. First off is this right over here. In Dutch we call this builenbrand, which roughly translates to bulbous burn, I think. But I think the official term in English is corn smut or smut. I think it's smut. Anyway, what this is, it's a type of fungus that invades the kernels of the corn, and it sprouts like a mushroom type of fungus from the corn. Now, to me, this looks absolutely disgusting, but apparently, especially in Mexico, they cultivate this as a delicacy. Now, I'm not going to try to eat it, but I just wanted to show you guys this not too uncommon phenomenon. The other thing I wanted to show you was that in this bed I've sown corn that I'm going to use for flour so that I can create tortillas and whatnot. All of them look alike, except for this one over here, which has like a darker color. It's more like purple. As well as the ears, they all look a lot darker than all the other ones. But what surprises me is that from this ear over here, and that one as well, you can see there's actually some sort of a tassel growing, and the other ears don't have that. So I guess this is another type of corn that got stuck in the package, but I'm excited to see what kind of corn it will eventually be. Welcome to the jungle. This is the bean bed and I just let it run. So a lot of things have been growing in here. Pumpkins, tomato plants, everything. We did enjoy the harvest of the purple Blauhilde beans very much, but the green runner beans not so much. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to let them fully ripen and we'll harvest the beans inside the pots. Now you might be wondering, what's up with this big empty space in front of me? I've actually been reserving this spot for a greenhouse. Now I have been postponing this project ever since February, but as a beginning gardener you'll have to prioritize what you want to do first, and for me that was building the grow beds, building the trellises, and overall getting the garden started for the first season. I've been filling the bioreactor up with shredded leaves. Worms have been added, so this project is hopefully well on its way. And the last step in upgrading my compost station will be adding these rain gutters and constructing a water storage system so I have easier access to water. And that will be a project I'll be working on in the near future. The hop has grown tremendously and is soon ready to be harvested for some home-brewed beer. The sweet corn has remained quite small, but nonetheless we have enjoyed our first cob. And let me tell you, it has the juice. Oh nee. So as you can see, a garden can get overgrown in a matter of weeks, especially when it's raining. And it's a big difference with how the garden looked back in May. Now, if you're interested to see that, click the video right over here.